Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to talk about a video that Asmongold posted about Star Citizen's $48,000 uh, game package. And it was a pretty good video. And uh, my only issue with it is that there was some misinformation in that video. So in this video, I want to kind of talk about the discussions that was had in that video, and I want to kind of clarify some things about Star Citizen store and account. So I'm going to kind of start off with the store and account information that you need to know so you can make an educated decision for yourself. And then I'm going to start to talk a little bit more about the opinions that were discussed in Asmongold's video. He did an interview between two different players, which I think was actually really good. They seem like average players. One individual was kind of negative about the game and the project. He doesn't play that much, and another individual was very positive about the game and he played a lot. So I think it was kind of a good kind of discussion to have to get both points of view from both types of players in the community. And I think that's something good that Asmon does, is that he's a pretty impartial guy until he gets his hands on the game himself. I know there are a lot of other content creators like Pirate Software and Shroud who have already formulated their opinion about the game before even playing it. I honestly don't have a lot of respect for that. You know, I play a lot of games. I don't really talk about them or give my opinions because I don't play them that often. I think if you want to give your opinion about something, you should try to be knowledgeable in it. Don't take, secondhand opinions about something and formulate your opinion. Get hands-on experience with it. I respect that a lot more. Not that I think that Shroud or Pilot Software is wrong in their opinions. I just think that it's a lot better to have hands-on experience before you speak on a topic. So we're going to get right into this video. We're going to start by talking about the store information. So right here, I have pulled up a starter package. It's Alien Week right now, so it has a sale and they're selling starter ships. This is not the cheapest game package available. This is the cheapest alien ship starter package available. Star Citizen has different starter packages at different tiers. You can buy the cheapest one, and that is all you need to play the game. That is typically only $45. Sometimes it will go on sale and sell for $40. So you can get this game at a discounted price. Right now, this ship is on a discount. It is typically $85 for this game package, but because it is Alien Week, a week where the alien manufacturers are celebrated and promoted, this starter package is on sale. Okay, so on your account, you have pledges. These are line items that have items nested inside of them. Each pledge on your account has three options. Okay, you can exchange a pledge, you can upgrade the ship in a pledge, and you can gift the pledge. Okay, a gifted pledge typically doesn't have any options. This is just a pledge that you own. All of the items in that pledge are just items you own. You cannot exchange it for store credits because you didn't buy it. And typically you can sometimes upgrade it. I know a lot of people who have been gifted ships and they wind up upgrading it. It is kind of a good way if you've received a ship from a YouTuber's giveaway or something like that, and it is like some kind of starter ship, and you go on and you upgrade it. But typically gifted ships have limited options of what you could actually do with it. Okay, then you have special pledges. These can be subscriber flair items, and we'll talk about subscriber items in a little bit. Or they can be event items. Right now, there is a challenge where you can interpret an alien language and you get a challenge coin added to your account. You can't do anything with this item. It is just on your account forever now if you do get that challenge coin, and it is an in-game item, so you can look at it in game. Okay, so those are special pledges, gifted pledges, and purchased pledges. Okay, when you buy this game pack, you can see all of the items here that it comes with. Okay, this is a special promotional pledge. So you have paint included, you have armor included, and you have additional insurance. Okay, so again, you have a hanger slot which is currently unidentified. We don't entirely know how hangers are going to work. In the very next patch coming up, we are getting persistent hangers, but we are only getting one hanger in our home location. So on your account, whenever you buy a ship, it will typically come with a hanger. So you might have 7 hangers on your account because you have 7 ships. Now in game, you will only receive one hanger at your home location. In the future, when the game reaches 1.0, we will be able to utilize these hangers in different places, and they will be kind of categorized as a slot. So, we have 7 hangers on our account. We can essentially set 7 different locations where we have our persistent hangers in game. Okay, insurance is currently not implemented. Okay, you see here 24-month insurance. Insurance is not currently implemented. There is a sort of insurance in the game right now where when your ship is destroyed, you can reclaim it. And typically what you pay is to expedite the insurance timer. So essentially the game will say this ship will take 5 minutes to be delivered, so you won't have access to that ship for the next 5 minutes. If you want to expedite that process, you can pay a little bit more. But in the future, after 1.0 is released, you will have to pay money to get that ship back at all. Okay, and of course your starting money is the money that you start the game with, depending on how many pledges you have on your account. Typically people only have one starter package pledge with starting money, but sometimes this number can be increased because CIG also sells aUEC in game. And so aUEC and UEC are 2 different currencies. aUEC is a currency for the alpha. UEC is the currency that the game will have when it is released. So if you buy currency on the store, you will be purchasing that in UEC. But it will be converted to aUEC during the alpha. So whenever there is a wipe, this is the amount of money you will start with. This is the amount of money you will also start with when the game reaches 1.0 and all of the aUEC is wiped from the game. Okay, so your ship can be upgraded. Okay, in the starter package, when you upgrade your ship, it retains all of these other items. So if you buy this game package for $72 and you want to upgrade the ship, you can do that. And you know what, we're gonna get into that part a little bit later in the video. For a second here, I want to get into insurance a little bit more, because there was a point in the video where the people were talking about how insurance works and LTI. So let's talk about that for a second. Typically, you can get insurance as 6-month insurance, 12-month insurance, 24-month insurance, 120-month insurance, which is 10 years, and lifetime insurance, which is commonly referred to as LTI. Okay, LTI is still available, but it is restricted to war bond ships. And a war bond is a specific non-store credit purchase that is cheaper than a standard purchase. Okay, a standard purchase is the current non-discounted price of a pledge, and it determines the current store value of a pledge. So a war bond is just a sale item that is purchased with new non-store credit money. Okay, and war bonds typically have LTI. Now, a war bond LTI ship is usually a newly released ship. So CIG is releasing a concept for the first time, or they're releasing a straight to flyable ship for the first time. This is a ship that is playable in the game. A concept ship is a ship that is not currently playable in the game. And if you purchase a concept ship, you will get a loaner ship. And there is a page on the RSI website that you can look at all of the loaner ships for the concept ship that you have purchased. Okay. So LTI insurance will go into effect after 1.0, and we kind of talked about that. Now, whenever you exchange an item for store credit, it gets added to a list called buyback pledges. Okay. For your buyback pledges, you get 2 opportunities each yearly quarter to buy an item back with store credit, and you get an unlimited uh, amount of opportunities to buy them back as a standard non-store credit purchase. So this is essentially new money. Okay, all buyback items will include their originally pledged items. So for instance, if you melt this and you want to buy it back, it will have all of these items contained in it, which is potentially valuable. But instead of paying $72, you'll have to pay $85. So you'll lose that sale discounted price. You have to buy an item back at the current value, but it will still have all the items. Now, this is not a war bond item. This is a sale item because of Alien Week. So this item cannot be rebought at the sale price. A war bond item cannot be bought back with store credit. So if you bought a war bond item and you exchanged it for store credit, you have to buy it back with new money. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. You can upgrade this pledge to another ship by also purchasing a cross chassis upgrade. Okay, this is commonly referred to as a CCU. Okay, so how a CC works is very similar to essentially exchanging an item for store credit and paying the difference for a new item. But instead of doing that, you are purchasing a specific item. This item is called a cross chassis upgrade. And this specific item, it's important to make the distinction that this is a specific item because you have the ability to do different things with this specific pledge item. You can exchange it, you can apply it, you can gift it. Okay, so that's why it's important that the cross chassis upgrade, or CCU, is its own separate pledge line item. Okay, but essentially how this works is that this will deduct the current value of the ship you own from the current value of the ship you want to own, and you only have to pay the difference. So for instance, if I have this ship is worth $70. If I want to upgrade that to a let's say a cutlass, I like the cutlass more than the Sulin here, I would have to pay the difference, $70, to what is the cutlass now, like $110, and I would get a CCU or cross chassis upgrade on my account. I can apply that upgrade, I can hold on to that upgrade, I can exchange that upgrade. If I apply that upgrade, this pledge item starter pack will now no longer have the Sulin. It will have the cutlass, but it will still retain the 24 months insurance, the Star Citizen digital download, the starting money, the helmet and armor set, and all of the items that was contained in this pledge package initially. Okay, so it's a lot of information, But we're gonna keep going because it gets things go deeper. So you can play the CCU game. The CCU game is essentially when you buy a ship at a discount, and then you upgrade it to a ship at the current price. And I'll give you kind of an example for this. And I'll use the Banu Merchantman since it's Alien Week. The Banu Merchantman originally cost about $300, I believe. Correct me in the comments down below if that's wrong. And right now it costs $650. So if you bought the Banu Merchantman at $300, you now have $350 in value because you can upgrade from the Banu Merchantman at its current price. But if you exchange the Banu Merchantman, you will only get $300 in store credit. So it makes more sense to upgrade the Banu Merchantman. And let's say you want to upgrade the Banu Merchantman to the Polaris, a ship that is coming out much sooner, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on if you're a fan of the Polaris. So you want to upgrade from the Banu Merchantman to the Polaris. The Polaris is currently $750. So because the Banu Merchantman is worth $650 and the Polaris is worth $750, you would only have to pay $100 to upgrade the Banu Merchantman to the Polaris. And since you originally bought the Banu Merchantman for only $300, the total price that you would have paid for this Polaris is only $400. Okay, so you get a $750 ship for only $400. Now, CCU chaining is a part of the CCU game. This is essentially where you link multiple CCUs together to get a cheaper ship in the end product. So an example of this is you essentially buy a cross chassis upgrade, apply it, buy another cross chassis upgrade that is Warbond. So when CAG sells cross chassis upgrades, they offer Warbond versions of that cross chassis upgrade. So you can purchase the cross chassis upgrade at the Warbond price of that ship. But yeah, it's essentially you're taking discounted upgrades and upgrading from one ship to another ship to another ship to another ship until you get to the ship that you actually want. But typically you want to start off with a ship that has items in it you want, LTI, starting money, all that stuff, or whatever have you. You want to start with a ship that has the items in the pledge that you actually want. But essentially, the Chairman's Club is when you spend $1,000 on your account, by all of the various different means of purchasing something in the game. It does not have a whole lot of perks. The main benefit of being in the Chairman's Club is that you get the game for free. So you do not need one of these starter packages. Why that's important is because you might want to exchange this for store credit. If you are a Chairman's Club member, you can exchange this starter pack for store credit and you will still have access to the game. If you are not a Chairman's Club member and you exchange this starter pack for store credit, you will lose access to the game. Doesn't matter how much money you spent, up to $1,000. So I think that's the primary benefit of being in the Chairman's Club. So strictly speaking, at some point CIG does want to and need to release 1.0 so that they can initiate things like LTI, Death of a Spaceman, and other mechanics that you have to wait for, because 1.0 marks the final transition from aUEC that we talked about earlier to UEC. Right now we are just dealing with aUEC. This is alpha currency. This will not translate to the final game. None of the ship purchases that we buy now will transfer to the final game. So when CAG releases 1.0, that is when our money and our ships and our items will have to persist throughout the lifetime of that account. um and More likely there will still be wipes, but CIG will need to create some kind of ledger system to update it and give you back what you had before. But wipes might be something that they have to do for servers and server side maintenance. But again, they are updating their backend logic so that they can wipe specific things and keep certain things online. Like if they want to wipe money or wipe ships, they can wipe different things. Um, so the game can be more persistent, because in the alpha stage, nothing is permanent. You're just testing the game. 1.0, everything is permanent. So that 1.0 does need to happen. That 1.0 will happen. So there's no question about that. Okay. So lastly, I know this video is already very long. I want to talk about the $48,000 game package. After everything that we've talked about how the account works, for the average person, the $48,000 game package makes no sense to purchase. A handful of people a long time ago asked CIG to make this item to consolidate. They were completionists. They wanted every item in the game, which they do not have through this package, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But this package is essentially the completionist package. They already had a lot of ships. They just want to consolidate them all in one thing. And I think at some point somebody looked it up, and there's only like 5 or 10 people in the entire world that have this package. And that is those individuals that specifically asked CIG for it. Now, why do CIG continue to update this package? Well, like we talked about, each pledge is a specific contained thing with a list of items in it. So if you have 10 ships, you have 10 pledges on your account. This $48,000 game package is only one pledge with hundreds of items in it. So when you go to your account, you'll only see one pledge line item versus the 10 dozen you see on your account probably. So when these individuals go to their account, they're limited in what options they can do with this pledge item. They can exchange it, and if they exchange it, they will lose all of the limited edition perks that come with the $48,000 game package, and they will get essentially a ton of store credit. Okay, they will not get that money back with real money. They will just get a bunch of store credit that they, could just buy the same ships with. So it makes no sense to exchange the $48,000 game package, because the $48,000 game package is actually saving you a little bit of money. When CAG updates ships and adds new ships to the game every single year, this package effectively becomes outdated. So every year, CAG gives these individuals an opportunity to upgrade their package. So essentially, the only reason CAG upgrades this package is for those 5 to 10 individuals who own this package. It's not something that you should buy. It makes no sense to buy it. And I heard that some people were saying that the $48,000 game package is something that orgs should buy. Orgs should not buy the $48,000 game package. First of all, at some point in the future, CIG will add in-game permissions, so you can loan your ships out to your friends and they will have permission to fly it, claim it, do all this stuff that you can. But that is at an in-game level. That's not at an account level. So the next thing is, you really don't have an opportunity to individually upgrade these ships. Orgs value flexibility, so you might want to exchange or gift or upgrade a specific ship, and in that scenario you wouldn't want that ship as a part of a bundle like this. You would want to be able to just melt that ship and get store credit, but still retain all of the other ships. With the $48,000 game package, you cannot individually melt any of those ships. All of those ships are items inside of the pledge, just like these. If you bought this starter package pledge, you can't separate out these items from this pledge, essentially. So the $48,000 game package is not something that an organization or guild or company or whatever you want to call it, that's not something that they should buy. That's not something in a normal person should buy. The $48,000 game package is just a meme. In all honesty, in my opinion, the $48,000 game package is just a meme. It's not something that you should buy, but it gets a lot of attention because $48,000 is a lot of money. Okay, but you know, they talk about it, but it makes no sense. Okay, now not all of the ships that are in game are in this game package. Okay, there are some ships that were limited promotions that CIG did with Intel and AMD, and that is the Saber Raven, which came with you know, an Intel SSD, and the Mustang, which came the AMD Racing Mustang that came with an AMD graphics card, I believe. Those two ships are limited promotions, and CIG has a contract with those companies, so they cannot sell those games outside. They cannot sell those ships outside of those promotions. And there are some ships that you will not be able to buy with store credit. Again, that is the Saber Raven and the AMD Mustang. You cannot buy those ships with store credit. But there are also other ships that you cannot, you know, strictly buy with store credits, like the F8 Lightning. I know CIG has said that there might be other opportunities to get the F8 Lightning, and it is kind of a gray area because you will be able to buy the F8 Lightning with in-game credits if you complete Squadron 42. Okay, but if you bought Star Citizen after 2019, you essentially have to buy Squadron 42 to buy the F8 Lightning in game. So there's kind of like a secondary purchase there. And then there is the Mark II Hornet, the F7A Mark II Hornet, which is an upgraded ship from the F7C Hornet. And if you buy the F7C in game, you will not be able to apply that upgrade, because to apply the upgrade for a ship, it needs to be on your account. So if you buy a ship in game, you cannot apply a cross chassis upgrade to a ship purchased in game. You can only apply a cross chassis upgrade to a ship that you've purchased with real money. So the F7A Mark II, the F7A Mark II, yes, can only be purchased technically with real money. And then there is the F7A and F7C Mark I Hornet, which will no longer be available. So the problem with that is that CIG is cutting off its availability during the alpha phase. So if you bought the Mark I Hornet during the alpha phase, it will get wiped before 1.0 beta, and you will lose all access to it because it will not be purchasable in game in 1.0. So if you already own a Mark I Hornet and you've bought it with real money, that's kind of the only way you will be able to keep it after 1.0. So there are a few situations where ships can't, not like every ship cannot be bought in game. That's just not true. But it's like 99% of ships can be bought in game. It's literally almost all of them. They're just, you know, a few situations where you won't be able to. But that is just kind of the end of my clarification. I think that, you know, at the end of the day, both of these individuals are, you know, right in some of their opinions. I just want to clear up a little bit of the misinformation from that video. You know, I try to gather all this information for you guys to kind of clear up as much as I can. But at the end of the day, experience it for yourself. It is worth it, in my opinion. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me here today, you guys. I don't want to take up any more of your time. Thanks for hanging out with me again. Like I always say at the end of these videos, you guys, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Salut.